learned over the course of doing this work that I need to bring curiosity about what's happening in another nervous system. So the question I often ask is, so how did it land in your nervous system? Right? A very curious question. I really do want to know. Here's what happened to me. What happened for you? So that's the first thing we want to remember about neuroception, right? I know what happens here. I'm curious about what happens there. So if you use this discernment question and you get the, ooh, no, not needed now, mark that down somewhere, because this is your nervous system inviting you to go back and explore and resolve and learn from what is happening. And if you get the discernment question answer, yes, this is needed in this moment, then you begin to trust your nervous system to give you those accurate cues, right? So discernment is an incredibly important part of this process of working with neuroception. Down in the hierarchy, when we take one step down the hierarchy, it's like taking a step back along the evolutionary timeline. We enter the sympathetic nervous system, which is a system of mobilization. Now, you may have been taught that this is the system of fight and flight. We want to think about it as a system of mobilization. And you'll find out why as we discover the vagal brake that is such an important part of our nervous system. So let's think about So to begin to get to know how your vagal brake works, we can start with movement, probably the easiest way to begin. And we can either do standing up movement or seated movement. So the first choice is, which do you want to play with? So I've got my feet on the floor and I'm going to move from side to side. I'm going to decide that my left foot is anchored in my ventral vagal state and my right foot is anchored in sympathetic. So that's your first place to start. One foot in ventral, one foot in sympathetic. So you decide. And then we're going to rock side to side and get a feel of what it's like when the vagal brake relaxes and re-engages. Most everything we do when we're working with a nervous system is a both and experience. This is an either or, right? We are either in a state of connection or a state of protection. And when we move into this state of protection, we are closed to connection and closed to change. So just stop there and think about that for a moment, right? If you have gone into sympathetic or dorsal, your system cannot connect and you cannot affect a change. Not because you don't want to, but because your biology now restricts that. It's only from a state of connection, from the state of ventral, that health, growth, and restoration are possible. This is where change happens. And we're going to explore each of these states a bit more deeply.